Hello, I'm Scotty. You're not. Um, yeah. So, elephant in the room. What the hell happened to this retrospective? Well, it's not that, because I'm back. I'm doing it again. I started this nearly 4 years ago, back in 2020. I did the entire first series of Doctor Who, Series 1, covered Christopher Eccleston's run, and then I intended to only take a break until Christmas of that year, and I would review the Christmas episode then. Over a year later, Christmas 2021, I reviewed the first Christmas special, The Christmas Invasion. And then, nothing. I did cover other Doctor Who stuff. I've covered the 60th anniversary specials recently, and I've been rewatching through this series with my son. We're on the second half of Series 7. It's the Clara part, or Clara part. So yeah, rewatching these with my son has reinvigorated my investment in redoing this, and I've been thinking about getting on it for a while now. But to be honest, this was going to be an option in the 50th, in the 500th, in the poll for the 500 subscribers. But I decided to put the Will Ferrell Pick 10 in there, which is still happening, by the way. By the way, before I get on, even after the deadline, y'all kept voting. So, which resulted in, now it's tied between Will Ferrell and Chucky re-reviews, revisited. And someone voted for Twilight out of the blue. Now, that poll is not valid anymore, but if there's equal interest in the Chucky revisited, I'll do it. But it won't be till October. I could do it in Halloween. Especially if I'm short on horror movies to do. I'll just revisit those. Halloween Horror Month. But anyway, back to this. So the big question lingering on your minds is, why did you stop? Right? Why did I stop? Why did I stop doing these? Why didn't I keep going? And there's not really a clear answer, but I guess initially the problem is that I'm not that big a fan of Series 2. When I was first getting ready to go into this, I thought of first of all, I thought the first episode was Tooth and Claw, which is not a good episode. That's the next episode, by the way. But there's the girl in the fireplace, which is really the only one that stood out to me. Rewatching this with my son, I actually appreciated the Cyberman 2 part of that's right after it. Well, before I would kind of get when it'd be in marathons on the Sci-Fi Channel. But, I learned to support. I don't think that the tease that they put forward with Torchwood is done as well as Bad Wolf, or that the Harold Saxon tease in Series 3 has done. And overall, I think that the Torchwood thing in this season is just not good. But we'll get to that. But yeah, so let me sit down and talk about this first episode, which actually, on a third rewatch, because I watched it the first time when I got the set, I watched it with my son. I'm watching it now. And going into this, I was like, I remember this one being not very good. But it's actually better than I thought it was. So I'll admit that. The episode, New Earth. And it actually starts the prologue, or whatever you call it, the pre-title sequence for James Bond fans is actually Rose saying goodbye to Jackie and Mickey. And there's something I noticed watching it this time. I think it happens every time that Rose goes to leave, but Jackie never watches the TARDIS leave. You can say in World War III, when she says goodbye to them again, Jackie walks away. And here, she walks away. She doesn't watch the TARDIS go away. Mickey does, but Jackie doesn't. And I think it's because she can't stand to watch her daughter leave. Interesting thing to point out. We go straight into the opening credits. And the Doctor says, before the opening credits, he says, we're going further than we've ever gone before. This is Tennant's first proper episode. He had the special, but he didn't do much in the Christmas Invasion. He just sort of laid in bed the entire shoot and then showed up to save the day. Here he gets much, much more to do and is very good at it. But this brings back some season 1 elements as well. It is in the second ever episode of the New Who, at the end of time, they go to the year 5 billion, which is weird because they say it's 5 billion years. In that episode, they say it's 5 billion years into the future, but here, this is 5 billion and 30 or something, 5 billion 300, something like that. I don't know. But now, after the end of the world, literally, the sun exploded and all that, we now have new Earth. We have New Earth and a place called New York, which we'll visit again in Series 3, but different. He's been summoned there. But by the way, if I may ask, what is applegrass? What's applegrass? Because what's that smell? He's like, applegrass. What's applegrass? Seen this 3 times. Still want to know what that is. My son asked what that was. I don't know. I mean, I could have looked it up, I guess, but I didn't. I don't know. I'm stupid. Applegrass. What is applegrass? Is it grass made of apples? Can you eat it? People are stepping on it. Ew. But yeah, despite the fact that I've seen behind the scenes footage and I'm actually filming on location, it looks very green screeny when they're sitting on it. It's very weird. I saw the behind the scenes footage. It looked very windy though, so they probably had to reshoot some stuff. So maybe that's why it looks green screeny, but it looks green screeny. Yeah. Doctor reveals he's been summoned there by someone via the psychic paper. We don't know who yet, but he gets there and we find out that they're being watched. And it's by Lady Cassandra, also from the end of time. She survived despite being dehydrated to death. Apparently she's now made of butt skin. So yes, as Rose states, she's talking out of her ass, although they do cut it, because at this point they weren't allowed swearing, but later series would be like, what the heck? Damn. Here I guess they weren't allowed to fucking out your ass. I don't know, but it cuts. It's a funny little cut joke. I've never liked the separating of the Doctor and Rose. This is going to be my biggest problem with the episode overall, is that this is Rose's first. I had issue with this before, and it's still before I rewatched the episode, and it's still an issue. This is Rose's first journey. She, first journey with the 10th Doctor, and she's not herself for most of it. Cassandra, she says that she's pure human, so she wants that body. It's pure human. Because she's vain, of course. I know that I'm sorry. So, her and her assistant, Chip, tricked them. So the Doctor goes up to Ward 26, and the thing shuts right away, because they made it shut. So she gets in the next elevator lift, and she says Ward 26, and it goes down instead of going up. And he even tries to warn her about disinfectant. She can't hear him, so disinfectant goes up. By the way, if I had reviewed this 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, when I was doing the other ones, this would have been very topical for that point. It was 2020. It was during COVID. That this would have been very topical. I kind of wish I would have kept doing them, but nope. Wanted a break. Too long. 4 years is too long. If I take a break after Series 2, it's not going to be 4 years, I promise. 7? No, I'm just kidding. Not 7 years. 7 days. 7 weeks. 7 months. 7 seconds. Because I'll do the beginning of series 2. And no promises there. I do the Christmas special. Oh, that Christmas special has gone up for me as well too. The Runaway Bride. That's gone up. I have newfound respect for Donna since the new specials. But anyway, I hate Donna. She's still annoying. So anyway, yeah. So Cassandra takes over Rose's body, and immediately her vanity takes over, ogling Rose's bosoms, for lack of a. I could just say teats, but bosoms, and her buttocks. It's a British show, right? Buttocks. And, yeah. I like the actor who plays Chipper. He's just kind of standing there all confused with the whole situation. He really is. The doctor finds out he has been... First of all, we meet the Duke of Manhattan, who is blue. And I was like, wait, is that thorium? No, because we found out that the blueness is actually just... by the way, Dorian is a character in the 11th Doctor's stories. He ends up just being a head, which actually oddly has a connection to Captain Jack Harkness, but supposedly. Anyway, so the Duke of Manhattan, he's blue. He has a virus of sorts, but an uncurable virus, by the way, as we're told. But we find out he's been summoned there by the face of Bo, last seen in the End of Time, or in the End of the World. I get those confused. The End of the World, and a cameo in the Long Game. But I know this is again. Sorry, happens. But yeah, apparently there's a story that he will find a wanderer such as him, someone who's ageless, like the Doctor is. And he will have 3 different conversations with him. He met the Doctor once, there's a second time, and there's one more time they're destined to meet. That will be in Series 3. And a whole revelation about the face of Bo will happen in Season 3, at the end of Season 3. Or Series 3. Excuse me. Die Hard fans. Series 3. Right? Just like the new series of Doctor Who, the new season. It's not Season 1. It's Series 14. Us Die Hard Who fans need to call it what it is. It's Series 14, damn it. Anyway. Yeah, 4 years later, and I'm talking about... keep in mind, 4 years ago when I was reviewing it, Jodie Whittaker was still the Doctor. We had no idea David Tennant was coming back, or who Ncuti Gatwa was. Maybe they knew him from that... whatever, Coronation Street? Is that where he's from, or no? There was a show he was a part of. Maybe they knew him from that. I don't know. No, Coronation Street is Millie Gibson. I don't know what show he was from. I don't remember. Probably tell me in the comments. But yeah, we didn't know any of that. But anyway, so the face of Bo is there. And then he calls Rose, and I have a problem. So, when Rose gets in the lift, she is doused with liquid sanitizer, basically. Liquid disinfectant, there it is. And those crappy 2006 phones would definitely not survive that. Her phone would be deed. Completely deed. Crappy 2006 phones get wet. They're just a brick. There's no way she'd be able to use that phone. Even if the Ninth Doctor did a little on it to make it speak throughout the galaxy, be able to work throughout the galaxy, it's still a crappy 2000. Actually, it's a 2005 phone because it's before that. It's still a crappy 2005 phone, little brick phone. I got my first phone. It was a flip phone in 2006, and it is crappy. It fell in the toilet and stopped working. So I know for a fact that liquid disinfectant would affect the phone and it would not work. She was completely soaked. Yes, she gets dried So there's the phone, but unless they put it in rice, it wouldn't work. But sci-fi TV show, let's just go on with it. And she immediately starts talking very stereotypical Cockney accent, talking about apples and pears and stuff like that. And then she shows up, and right away you can tell that that the doctor knows something's going on. By the way, during the conversation he's having with the cat nurse that is taking care of the face of Bo, and she's talking about the wonder and everything, just David Tennant says nothing, but the look on his face is just chef's kiss. You could see, like, Eccleston could do that too, but like Tennant's on another level. You could tell that there's some kind of suffering in there. Like, if you want a good example of Eccleston, the episode Dalek. When he sees that it's the Dalek, the look on his face is of pure fear, and it works. Here, it's sadness, because he knows what the face of Bo is going through. So, being the only one left, being by itself, yeah. I'm just itchy. I think it's dry skin or something. So when Cassandra shows up in Rose's body, he knows something's going on. She knows more than Rose would, because he's like, oh, how do I look at this? Well, maybe you should look at the thing. Oh, yes, of course. And then they find it. So we've been teased with this sick ward. The cat lady's going, we don't see what's in there. We see like a side of an arm or something. But it turns out they made artificial humans, and they've pumped them with every disease ever so they can eventually come up with cures, which is how they're curing these incurable diseases. But my problem is, if they're pumping them with every disease ever, wouldn't they die right away? Are they keeping them alive or something? I don't know. Maybe I missed something. But yeah, then one of the cat nurses show up, and the doctor confronts her about Rose. What have you done to Rose? And that's when he reveals he knew something was wrong the entire time. And Rose Sandra throws him in the empty sick ward, the one that they got rid of they incinerated the other guy, so they throw him there, open one. And she basically, the nurse says, I'm going to get the mother, whatever she's called, the matron. She's like, oh, please do. And so she brings the matron, and it's like the matron is also in on it or something. She's not a very good person. But eventually, all of the artificial humans are let out, and now we got a danger because they have the viruses, and all you got to do is just touch someone. And we find out later that they're trying to touch someone because they just want human contact. They've been raised all their lives in there. They want contact. They want to touch people. And I love doing this. So the doctor just has had enough with Cassandra and wants her to leave Rose's body, but she won't, because if she does, she'll die. Poor Chip is left behind as they try to escape, and so she, after yelling at her, she jumps into his body. And I love the performance that David Tennant gives here as Cassandra. It's very effeminate, and there's a part where he's doing his performance. You pay attention. Billie Piper can barely keep it up. She's cracking. She's going like this. She's trying not to crack, but it's there. If she was on SNL, it'd be that's when you break kind of moment. And yeah, but then she's going back and forth between Tennant and Piper, and it kind of hilarity. Eventually, she's forced to jump into one of the patients, which changes her point of view, and that's when we learn about they just want a human connection. They want to touch. And when she says that, the doctor puts his hand out so that he can pull her up. And just sort of changes her outlook. Although it's not right away, because she doesn't want to leave because she doesn't want to die. And then Chip shows up and she jumps into Chip's body. And immediately, when Chip's body starts to fail, she's like, oh, I'm going to die. Okay. Basically is what it is. Like, I'm going to die. Sure. She doesn't jump back into Rose. She accepts she's going to die. Once she was in Rose's body, she didn't want to die. And I think it's because when she jumps into a person's body, she takes on that person's sort of personality. Rose is a fighter. The doctor is a fighter. She jumps in them, she's not going to want to die. But Chip is there to only serve Cassandra. And he knows he's going to eventually die, and he's accepted it. So by jumping into him, even though she sort of learned and accepted the thing, she's, I've skipped a big part of the episode. So the doctor comes up with a plan to save everyone. Everybody leaves. Just this once, or just twice. He mixes every single one of the solutions for the disease together and puts it in a disinfectant spray and sprays it on all the patients. And then tells them to go touch people, which will automatically cure them. And yeah, it's goofy, sure, but there's some goofy moments in there earlier, but still, your villainous is a piece of butt skin, for God's sake. It's going to be goofy. But, yeah, so we end the episode with a moment. They take Cassandra back. Now, this is mentioned earlier on that she said it's been a long time since anyone has told me I was beautiful. So, my question here is, did Cassandra know it was going to be this way? Is that why she ended up accepting it? Chip showed up, she jumped in his body, and it hit her. Oh, I remember now. Or maybe she knew it was going to happen. She just didn't know when. And when she jumped into Chip's body, that's when she came to the realization, oh, it's time. Because she asked specifically for this. She's the one that asked for this. Not the doctor's doing nothing. She asked for this. And it's taken back to when she was still around, still human, and she basically dies in her own arms. And the episode ends. So, did she know it was going to end this way the entire time? And she just didn't know when this was going to happen. And when she jumped into Chip's body, she realized, or was it when, because she has that look on her face, Billy Piper does. Maybe Billy Piper's playing it this way, I don't know. But, before she jumps in, she has a look of realization on her face. Like, Chip is a wanting vessel. He only serves Cassandra, so, only serves her, so maybe that's what she comes to the realization. I don't know. But overall, the episode was better than I thought it was going to be initially going in. I was just like, oh, I remember these first two are not good. Not good. But this was actually not a bad start. Not at all. But, I don't think I grade these. So, yeah, I think it's a decent start. And Tennant does a really good job as a doctor, of course. But yeah, it's a decent start. So, what are your thoughts on New Earth? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe as I get back into doing these. I promise you. I got thumbnails for at least the rest of Series 2. So I'm going to try to go through them this weekend as I can. There's supposed to be a Wham live stream tonight, but I haven't found any proof of it. They said it was on, when they did it on Tuesday, they said we'll be back on Friday, so we shall see. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.